Boys, it's been a while. I think I haven't uploaded in a very long time on this channel. Uh, but today I'm going over a Hawk versus Ace match. It's gonna be me versus some random guy on the sim, and I want to start improving my gameplay. I have a pseudo bet with my friend Cross to say that I'll top an event. So I've been trying to actually like critically think about my gameplay, think about what I'm doing in certain matchups, and try to actively improve. And I think the best way to actively improve is watch your games back and critically think about what went wrong, what went right in those games, so you can duplicate it. Duplication is like the best, like or I said duplication, replicate some of your actions you made and understand why something you did was really good or something you did was really wrong. So we're gonna go over it. In this commentary, I was streaming on Twitch, so go check out my Twitch Premium ZD if you do want to see me rep those games out. I do talk while I'm playing, so you might hear a little bit of overlap in audio, and if you do, my apologies. But I'm just gonna go over it and truly discuss what I am doing here. So let's see. So I think I did like this. This is just usually some standard, like you just play your searcher. But you really have nothing to get rid of your Bonnie, so it's pretty free. Just free play it. Thank you. I got rid of the the thing in front. The match report. Okay. Just probably gonna Bonnie search, kid search, and then call it a day. Is the thing to think about though. If this was a Perona, for example, I'm not exactly sure which order I should be searching. Like sometimes I have trouble with that. Because with the one with you have more targets, right? They're both supernovas, so it doesn't really matter which order I do it. But for example, if this is a Perona, the order of my searches wouldn't matter. It's very like minuscule, and it's just things to think about on searches. But we'll continue playing. Because if it was a Perona, I technically have two supernovas or two slash in my hand. So next, like couple of cards I see would determine on what I'll get. Like it's very minute. Doesn't really matter. It's just like the order of searches does sometimes matter based on your hand. I think I got the 5-drop Bonnie here because I don't have a 5-drop play, and you gotta, if you don't have a 5-drop in Shanks, it kind of, yes, I said Shanks. In Mihawk, it kind of does matter like a lot. Yeah, just swing that my searcher clears. I think I take this because why not, right? Like I'm not in any danger. Things to keep out in this match specifically, that is the Marco can get slightly annoying early on, because after a certain point Marco becomes like unusable, right? So this turn here, my 5-don turn, is the only time he will get maximized value of his Marco, because from this point onwards, his Marco will be Shanks, his Marco will be Law Beppoed. I'm not playing Mihawk, but it could potentially get Mihawk. So this is like literally his only opportunity to use this Marco and get any lick of value. So this is like a misplay on his part. Unless he chooses just to aimfully swing him, which I guess, yeah, he could do that, which I think maybe not correct if he's gonna end up doing something else, like if he has Jozu in his hand, for example. Like I don't know his exact hand situation, but like this is the only possible chance he could use to get Marco. That's why he takes like a second or two to think about it. I think the 2K 1K was also like really wrong as well. Like I think I mentioned in the VOD as well, like his Marco will just never get any form of value all game long. I'm gonna just take the 7 because I'm gonna end up taking one of the 7s and then counter out of the other one. Because as soon as he gave me the 2K 1K, I think you hear in the VOD, like I just attacked the board all game long, because the second he gave me 2K 1K, he has no hand. Like his hand is gonna be extremely weak for the rest of the game because he decided to give me 2K 1K 2 turns ago. Like that's something to think about. So he can't defend his board adequately enough for really any form of value, right? I think I block and give him a 2K. Or maybe I just event. I'd probably give him a event here. I don't want to risk tapping my Bonnie. I think the reason why I was okay, I don't know if this is right by me, but I think the reason why I was okay with tapping my Bonnie is because he taps his Marco and swings at my Bonnie. I'm just giving him 1K, and I was going to take, if he swung 7 at me, I was going to take it regardless or use an event, and I kind of wanted to keep my events. Because weirdly enough, the Supernova event actually just come in handy quite a lot in this matchup. Because freezing 2 of his Marcos permanently for the turn over is really good, because I could freeze a Whitebeard. He has 2 Marcos on his board. I freeze both those because he swung at me with them or whatever, and then he's just down. He's from that position, he's fully cooked. That's probably why I gave him the 2K and was okay with that. Ideally, I think he does swing at me though with his Marco, or swing into my Bonnie. I give him the 1K. If he does swing at my leader, for example, I just take it. Because in my head I was like, okay, if I use an event, I'm down like Supernova event, I kind of wanted it, and 10 billion fold is really good. So I think that was all right play by me. Rest Shanks, rest the Marco. This, I think I made a slight misplay here, because I went 7-7 here, which is for sure wrong. For sure wrong, because I was like, okay, he gives me 2 cards in hand, I just want cards out of his hand. But that is most certainly not correct. I should just went 9 with my Bonnie here, because he's gonna be 2K 2K, or let it through, or let it go. And I think it's more worth to take the body off the board instead of attacking his hand. Because in my head I was like, let me attack his hand, and I can also still go 6 at his side or whatever. You're hearing me go through the thinking process myself. Yeah, I think I do go for the 7-7, but that is for sure wrong. You hear me saying 7s is better if he has 2Ks, because I'm getting technically more value on it. Because if he does have 2Ks, he's getting 2K. He gave me the Perona. Or, yeah, he gave me Pudding, not Perona. He gave me another 1K, I think. So he literally has, he's down in hand advantage a lot. I know Whitebeard does kind of build his hand back up slightly. This put me in a position, right? This is why I said 9 might have been better, but I think low key it ended up being the same thing. So I went 9. He just goes ace skill 1K, and I swing at 5. So I think it equaled the same thing, but I had the chance of getting perceived more value. So maybe 7-7 was more correct than 9, just straight 9. So I could have, in theory, got a 2K from him. So yeah, and I think that was that line of play was actually pretty solid on my part. He does I am Whitebeard. He's the greatest. And I have to give him the 2K here, I think. Right? I think I just give him the 2K. Yeah. I think I'm immediately super sad, though, if he goes 11 into my Shanks. That's why I took this. And I was like, okay, if he's swinging my Shanks, I'm just fine with going 1. This turn by him, I think he should have swung 11 into my Shanks for sure. I'm almost certain he should have went into my Shanks here. I think he just assumed I had the counter. But the thing with Mihawk itself is that it's inherently extremely bricky. I know it's hard to gauge the strength of a Mihawk's hand because it looks really fat. I had 7 cards in my hand. But 9 of the time, Mihawk's hands are super fake. It's always some events, and if they don't have counter up, you're not scared of anything, ever. So this is definitely a misplay on his part. IMO. I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm just gonna have to take it. I'm just gonna have to like live with this. And I'm also on 9 Dawn, so I don't have like the greatest play here. Because I did in this list, I cut Mihawk. It was an active choice. I think a lot of more of the top players are starting to cut Ninehawk, and I think I also agree now that I've played some reps on with this deck. Cutting Ninehawk is so good because 7 Shanks is just like always a good it's 7 Shanks is never a bad play. When sometimes Ninehawk is. We're gonna continue. I think I decided to attack the board from this position because he's at an 8k lead. I'm just gonna swing at his board really hard. Oh, I didn't swing at his board, interestingly. I think because I'm going to play my 9 Shanks. Just to pop it. So I was like, okay, like he's either taking this or giving me TK. Which is fine, which I don't really care about. So I'm thinking, I'm going like through like my logical line. Didn't even think about like a swing at his lead might have been incorrect. Yeah, see, like I'm going through my I think a lot of people want playing decks they just do things and not think about them. So you're hearing me think about why I was like, okay, maybe this was incorrect. But I think overall, a 9 Shanksing, like he took a life, which is good, and a 9 Shanksing to clear is really solid because I still have a blocker up. I think if that was my line though, I should have went 5-9 first. I don't think it ends up mattering because if he ends up being greedy and decides to misplay. Because his misplay here, like if I swung 5 and he taps his Whitebeard, he loses on the spot. And I think he knows that. I think he's like very aware that I have the potential to 9 Shanks him. That's why he didn't tap his Whitebeard in any of the situations I just gave him. And I passed, right? So that turn specifically I think was fine. I don't think I made anything super wrong. Because if I end up swinging at his Yamato, he would have just like let it go through because I'd assume he has no counter in his hand. Then my 9 Shanks is kind of weaker, so I have to force the 9 Shanks his Marco, which I don't want to do because I don't want to give him cards. So I think my logical thinking here is it does make sense. I think how I went through this turn was really good. For sure. And I also gave him the opportunity to misplay because I swung 5 first. Like the order of my attacks were also good, I think. I mean I should have swung 5 into the Garp first, and then swing 9. Maybe so my swing order might have been a little wonky, but besides that, everything else I think was good. I don't think I made too many drastic misplays. I'm not noticing. Obviously, you guys can comment and say, okay, maybe you could have done this turn, or maybe this was more correct in that turn, or maybe the way I countered was incorrect a few turns ago. Like I'm always open for criticism. That's why I'm kind of posting these and giving my raw thoughts on it. Ooh, I alt-tabbed. Oh, whoops. Okay, yeah, we're good. See, now I'm thinking. So I kept 3 Dawn up. The option to do some. See, I'm like kind of going through what he can play with 6 Dawn. You could Jozu. If he had pudding, he would have already pudding me because my hand is 8 cards. He would have already putting me down to 5 if that was something he was generally thinking about. He doesn't have 10 beard because he would have played the 10 beard. Like he would have snap played 10 beard. So those are like also think about what my opponent is doing. So he can't 10 beard me. He would have putting me already. So that's 2 cards I know he doesn't have. 6 Dawn. Okay, there's maybe a Jozu. He can Marco and Utah. Like that is like his line of play. So either he drops Jozu, which is pretty neg on his board. I don't think he wants to go to a blocker. So it means like what is he repping? He's probably repping a Marco and a Utah or Uta. Right, so that's why I'm like kind of chill with blocking here. Also, if he taps his card sideways, I think he loses on the spot now. Like I'm very much aware that he can't tap his card sideways. That's why I'm okay with giving him my blocker. Because he like the second he taps his cards, his like Whitebeard sideways, his Marco sideways, he is fully cooked. There's no more game for him. Like there's no more like play the game. His Whitebeard's tapped. He can randomly just blow up. Like he randomly explode. Like that's the crazy thing is with this deck. Because if I have a DMG, he just explodes immediately. So he can't tap any of those sideways. That's why you guys keep 4 blockers up. Right? So I draw my Dawn. And now I'm thinking on how I can play here. I made a really stupid misplay here. Yeah, I was thinking about, like, you hear me going through my line of thinking. I'm like, oh, I could just double rest his, like, I could rest both his Marcos and prevent him from drawing. But then I could just randomly explode by Whitebeard. So I was like, yeah, like, no, that's definitely really stupid. I don't want to randomly explode to, like, a Whitebeard swing of 12 and or just, like, lose, like, everything in my hand, right? He doesn't have to commit all of Dawn to pressure my hand super hard if I do it that way. But I do end up making the misplay of doing that. I just swing my Shanks first. I tap one of his Marcos. Then I get my lead to 7. And I was like, the second I did it, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't think I didn't notice yet, huh? My leader not going to 7. So that's like obviously like a ginormous misplay that I just made, right? Not putting my leader to 7k base is a ginormous misplay. I could easily fix it by swinging Shanks first. Yeah, it is a misplay I made, but something to be aware of. Like sometimes it does happen. I have seen it in matches where people just kind of autopilot. I am playing on sim, so I'm not fully locked in, but that is a misplay I made, and it's easy to point out, right? Like that one's super a super easy misplay to be like, oh, what the hell? Because then he couldn't 1k me, right? He couldn't 1k my swing. Yeah, he'd have to give me a blocker. Right? He took it. And because of my misplay, I have given him an opportunity to randomly win the game now. I'm thinking about what he can do as well. I'm like, okay, like from this position, what is his what can he do now? He has to go for game next turn because he does have another turn after this. So I'm like, okay, like how does he win with game? Like, okay, like, does he have math for game? And then here I realized my leader's not 7. I was like, huh? I'm like, what did I do? I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, I can't die because my leader's 7. My leader is not 7. My leader is not 7 whatsoever. So I could randomly explode. But I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, okay, like I did the math in my head. I'm like, okay, like there's just no way he can allocate enough Dawn to blow me up unless he has pudding in his hand. And even if he did pudding me, like I would have to like super hardly brick on my pudding draws to die. Right? And I was thinking about, oh, I can just swing into Marco, but so me swinging into Marco does the same thing as me swinging into his leader. He could Utah block. Because, like, what? 5? Like, okay, like, this is what you think. If he commits all his Dawn to his board, he has a 9 swing. He can make an 8 and a 9. Right? He can go 2 9s, 8. But that's just not enough because I have 2 2Ks and a 1. I have like 7K encounter plus 2 events. It's impossible to lose. And there's a 9. He should have definitely started at 8 first. Me taking that was also slightly troll. I should just block, but I'm trying to force him to go into game. But if I get pudding from... Okay, like, I get pudding into a bad hand, I lose. Because then I would need an event. Because he could swing 7, and I need a 2K. And I just lose based on that, right? So I definitely should have countered. But I was trying to bait him into thinking my hand was bricked. Like, bricked up. But that doesn't... I don't need to do that, like, ever. So you can hear I'm saying, like, if my leader was 7, I win super hard. Now let's take a look at his hand. He was thinking about dropping Roger, which doesn't do anything. Roger's nothing for him. I don't have any blockers up. You can Roger me, okay, who cares, right? Like, I don't give a flip about some Roger, personally. So you can't Roger me. Him trying to build more hand presence doesn't matter because my swings are just too massive. Like, he just wouldn't be able to count out. Like, even if he drew like 3 more 2Ks on top of his deck, still not enough. So he is forced to go for game from his position. And it just isn't enough. The one thing I did troll about is, yeah, if I did get puddinged and not going to 7, hurts. I should have blocked the first swing he had. So if I do end up getting randomly puddinged after, and I don't get pudding to a bad hand, I still have 1 life. So I could end up taking it and be okay. So that's 1. So I made 2 misplays the entire game, but I think overall I did play pretty well. Just overall. So I think I didn't do that bad. If you guys do see any more misplays that I didn't catch, maybe on my counters and things like that, let me know. I'm always open to discussion, and I'm posting this for educational purposes and how to think at a higher level of the game. And it's just always good for me to review my matches and things like that. I'm going to place a Mihawk match probably tomorrow. A Mihawk match, I think I lost that game, and I'm going to go over why I think I might have lost. And I think like showing the losses are more important than showing the wins, because you kind of can know what you did right in the wins, but it's hard to determine why you lose games, for most people anyway. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. I hope you guys have a good day. And I'm gonna try posting more. I'm gonna try to post more and maybe get some of the bros here and show you like some of how me and my homies test, how me and Cross, me and Hart, me and Daniel, me and Kush, like someone in my friend group test, and how we discuss our matches and how we discuss on how good or bad a deck is and our strength of the deck. So we're gonna do that, and I have a lot of plans for the channel. So hope you guys have a good day, and peace.